And your best book of all time, Paul?
Well, yes. And this book, perhaps some might say, shouldn't be on this list. And because it is the Quran itself. And I say it shouldn't be on this list because it's not the writings of a man. This is the speech of God himself. So it belongs in a class of its own.
Yes.
In a bookshelf, it should have its own book, separate shelf above the rest.
Yes.
It's not like the other books. But my only defense or an excuse for including it in number one, the top 10, is the translation I'm referring to, the meaning of the Holy Quran by Abdullah Yusuf Ali.
Yeah.
And this is my favorite translation of the Quran. I'm now aware of many, of course, since and there are many brilliant ones. I won't go into them. But what I like about this is not just the English translation, which is quite Shakespearean at times.
Yes.
But it's the commentary on the Quran in English. And he often, occasionally references Shakespeare and John Milton and William Wordsworth, the great English poets, all three.
Yeah.
And he quotes them to marvelous effect. And myself, as someone who really enjoys English literature, I really appreciate how he speaks to an English audience, referencing the greatest works in English language, in English literature, to amplify and elucidate Quranic truth. And I'm aware of no other tafsir set in English that does this. It's unique. And this is why it'll always be a gem, I think. Other English translations with commentaries are much less eloquent and literary than his. Just give you one example.
Please.
To conclude, from Surah 103, one of my favorite surahs. And I won't mention the Arabic, although I do actually pray this in Arabic. I know it from my... anyway, that's another subject.
Yes.
So he translates it in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. By the token of time through the ages, verily man is in loss, except such as have faith and do righteous deeds and join together in the mutual teaching of truth and of patience and constancy. Very brief. Al-Asr, time through the ages, he translates it. And the little note, one of several notes to this, here, Yusuf Ali says, an appeal is made to time as one of the creations of Allah, of which everyone knows something, but of which no one can fully explain the exact significance. Time searches out and destroys everything material. No one in secular literature has expressed the tyranny of never-resting time better than Shakespeare in his sonnets. For example, see Sonnet 5, Never-Resting Time. 12, Nothing 'gainst time's scythe can make defence. And Sonnet 64, When I have seen time's fell hand defaced, the rich proud cost of outworn buried age. If we merely run a race against time, Abdullah Ali writes, we shall lose. It is the spiritual part of us that conquers time. So actually, when I looked at this, I ran off and looked again at Sonnet 64 and read it again. And there's a fantastic YouTube recitations by well-known actors.
Yes.
And you think, this is perfect. This is, a perfect accompaniment as a commentary to a Western audience on this surah. And I think, how amazing. And only he's done this. So this is by far my favorite book in the Arabic and the English translation. And if I was on a desert island, I can only take one book with me.
Yes.
This would be the book. Literally, this would be the book.
Wow, thank you very much. I feel cultured in your presence today. Now, have you ever thought of starting up a book club?
YouTube channel.
Oh, a book club. An actual book club, online or maybe even in person.
I thought about it, yes.
Yeah, why not? I think that would be a wonderful idea.
Okay. I'll think about it some more. I'm aware that Sheikh Hamza Yusuf has a very successful book club going, and I don't want to in any way compete. Not that I could compete with him, but no, okay. Thanks for the reminder.
I think it's a great idea.
I'll think about it.
I think there are. I noticed from the comments on your channel, whenever you advise a book or whenever you mention a book to your viewers, people want to buy those books and want to read the books.
Yes.
So,
well, that's good because that's the intention.
Yeah. So I think it's when I came on your channel, I remember we had a great exchange about books. Shabir Akhtar turned up as one of our...
Well, this is the thing. Some of Shabir Akhtar's books have easily been in my top 10, particularly his one, The Quran and the Secular Mind.
Of course.
So it was unfair of me to exclude him in a way, but there were only 10, so someone had to go.
I'm sure he accepts that. I'm sure he'll be okay with that. But wonderful. Jazakallah khair. It's been a great experience. And
my pleasure.
I will put the titles of these books in our... in the show notes, and if anyone wants to access the books, I would also put a link to where the books can be purchased.
Inshallah.
But thank you very much for your time today.
Hamza, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Please remember to subscribe to our social media and YouTube channels, and head over to our website thinkingmuslim.com to sign up to my weekly newsletter. Jazakallah khair.